Hello friends, today we are going to deal with static indeterminacy. In a static indeterminacy we have two, and it is static indeterminacy is denoted by ds, and it is categorized into two parts. One is external static indeterminacy, then internal static indeterminacy. Now external static indeterminacy is denoted by dsc, and internal static indeterminacy is denoted by dsi. Now, before to move on, first we'll discuss about external static indeterminacy. External static indeterminacy. Okay. Now, this external static indeterminacy is purely based upon the support reaction exert for the support provided for a given structure. It is purely based upon the support provided for any structure, for which we are going to calculate external static indeterminacy. Now this static indeterminacy formula is external static indeterminacy plus internal static indeterminacy, dsc plus dsi. Now okay, now whereas this internal static indeterminacy is depend upon geometry of the structure or and member force. For example, truss and frame. It is purely based on the geometry because plenty of number of members get together to form this truss and the frame. So again, here very important whether we are dealing with 2D frame or 3D frame, that we have to take care while calculating the internal static indeterminacy. Now moving ahead, first let us understand what is external static indeterminacy, that is denoted by DSE. It is defined as the support reaction which are in excess to the number of equilibrium equations. External static indeterminacy is nothing but the support reaction which are more in number other than the equilibrium condition. As let's say, if we have three equilibrium equations, those are summation of fx is equal to 0, summation of fy is equal to 0, and summation of mz is equal to 0. It is in some books we use as summation of h is equal to 0, then summation of v is equal to 0, and summation of moment is equal to 0. All these three equations are equal to 0. These are the three equilibrium conditions we are going to use, okay, in our mechanics. The external static indeterminacy is given by r minus 3, where capital R is number of reactions at each support for a given structure, where this 3 indicates the 3 is nothing but it is number of equilibrium condition which we have for static indeterminacy. Now here it is very important to understand what are the number of reactions are acting at each support or a type of support. Now here I have shown type of support and number of unknowns we have. When we consider simple support, the simple support is indicated with an arrow mark acting upward, which will the arrow mark itself indicate it is offer a vertical reaction for the, let's say if you have a beam like this, whatever the load acting on a beam, it will be acting downward. To resist this, the support will offer a reaction upward. So it means the simple support exert only one reaction. Now coming to the roller support, this is a pictorial representation of roller support, and this is also a picture representation of roller support. These are the two diagrams by which we can indicate roller support. Now again, by this roller we can say that when I apply a horizontal force, it is free to move along x. Due to this roller, it will move along x axis. So there is no resistance offered against horizontal movement. Whereas if I apply a force vertically down on this, let's say, beam, whatever the load it is acting downward, this support is strong enough to withstand, means it will offer a reaction in a upward direction, because the roller is placed on a horizontal plane, so the reaction is vertical. Now for consider, now we have an inclined plane on which a roller is placed. I have an inclined plane on which a roller is placed. Now in this case, our reaction exerted will not be vertical, it will be perpendicular to the plane on which the roller support is placed. I will repeat once again. Now I have a roller support which is on horizontal inclined plane which is making an angle theta. At this case, in this case, our reaction will be perpendicular to this plane on which the roller support is placed. So our reaction always act perpendicular to the plane on which the roller support is placed. In this case also we have only one reaction that will be acting upward or inclined, depends upon the plane on which the roller support is placed. Now coming to third category of support, which is hinge or pinned. Hinge support or pinned support. Now this is a pictorial representation for showing the hinge support or pinned support. In this pin or hinge support, now look at here, let's say I am holding like this, so it is free to rotate. It means it will not offer any resistance against the rotation, but when I try to pull it towards right, this support will not allow it to move towards right. It means there is a horizontal resistance. Now when I apply some force downward, if I downward, it will not allow to move downward. It means it is again offer a reaction vertical. So it means that for a hinge support we will be having two reaction along x and along y. Now coming to last support, which is fixed support. Now fixed support in which we will be having three reaction. One is horizontal, another one is vertical, third one is a moment. So total number of unknown reactions are 3. It means that now consider my hand is a fixed support. If I try to drag it towards right, this due to this fixity, it will not move towards right. So it is offering resistance against x direction. When I apply a vertical force downward, due to this fixity, it will not move down. It means that it will offer a reaction upward, vertical. Where if I want to try to rotate it, due to this fixity, this beam will not rotate. It means that there will be a resistance against moment as well. Okay, so there will be 3 unknowns. For fixed support, 3 unknowns. Simple support, 1 unknown. Roller support is also 1 reaction. For hinge support, we will have 2 unknowns, horizontal reaction as well as vertical reaction. In a fixed support, we will be having 3 reactions: horizontal, vertical, and moment. Is it clear? Okay, fine. Now here, when you solve a problem on a beam, these 3 conditions, you need to keep in your mind these 3 conditions has to be satisfied. When the load is vertical, we have to, whenever you have a beam problem, then we have to check these 3 conditions. If these 3 conditions satisfy, then we have to follow certain rules. I will let you know while solving the problem. In the first problem, look at here, we have hinge support and here we have a simple support, and the question asked is to calculate external static indeterminacy. I am calculating external static indeterminacy. Now here we have, for a hinge support will be 2 unknowns: horizontal reaction, vertical reaction, and here one vertical reaction. Totally 3 reactions we have. So the value of R is 3, because our DSC formula is R minus 3. So capital R minus 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. But if you get 0, then this answer is wrong. Of course, you will get 0, but if you consider this as 3 and this as 3, then it is wrong. I will let you know why. Look at here. For this given problem, the loading given is vertical. You just think over it. When the loading is vertical, is there any horizontal movement on this beam? Is there any horizontal movement? Can anyone answer? Unmute yourself and can answer. When I apply a downward load, Is there any horizontal movement? No, absolutely not. When there is a vertical load acting downward, the reaction will be offered only along y direction, vertical. So this summation of fx will be 0. So you should not consider the summation of fx. You should not consider summation of fx, because if we have only vertical load, because look at here, we have a beam, okay, we have a vertical load, then the both the supports are at same level. In that case, we should not consider this horizontal component. So the capital R value becomes 2 minus, again look at here, as we have 3 equilibrium condition, as I told there is no summation of fx, then this also not we should not consider in equilibrium condition as well. So 2 minus 2 is again 0. The DSE is 0, but if you write 3 minus 3, then it is wrong. You should write 2 minus 2, then it will be right. Okay, I will just consider the same problem. Okay, look at the third problem. Now in the third problem, now here what I done is, I have taken the 10 kilonewton but with some inclination. Okay, I have considered this 10 Newton force, but it is with respect to x and making some inclination, let's say 20 degree. 20 degree is the angle made by this 10 Newton, okay, with respect to x. Now we just look back this condition. We have a beam, of course this is a beam. Whether we have vertical loading? No, we don't have vertical loading. In that case, now when we come across this situation, okay, now look at here, this inclined force has to resolve on x as well as along y. So we'll be having x component will be acting towards left and y component acting towards down. So here when we come across this hinge support, so we'll be having two unknowns. One is horizontal, another one is vertical. Of course it is roller, so there is one reaction. So now the formula will be r minus 3. This is the standard formula we have. But in place of capital R, we have to consider 3. Because this horizontal reaction will be there. Similarly, this 3 remains 3 only. It will not be 2 as that of first case. Are you getting? If you have a general loading, this general loading is nothing but for if we come across an inclined force, that is called a general loading. Vertical load is a actual loading. Okay. Now third problem, look at here. I have two forces, 5 and 2 Newton, both are acting vertically down. 5 and 2 Newton, both are acting vertically down. Here we have hinge support, it is a roller support, again it is a roller support. Now hinge support will be here having two unknowns, horizontal, vertical. This is vertical and this is vertical. Now again remember this condition. We have a beam, load is vertical, supports are at same level. In that case, we should not consider summation of fx. Again, in this equilibrium condition also, we should not consider summation of fx. Now R, total number of R are 1, 2, 3, 4 total, in which 1 has removed, so totally 3. So 3 minus, now it is 3 become again 2. So 3 minus 1 is, 3 minus 2 is 1. So DSE value is, external static indeterminacy is 1. Is it clear? Now moving ahead, now look at here, I have both the ends are fixed. The loading is P, which is acting vertically down. Okay. The number of unknowns are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, total 6. But remember the beam is, we have a beam, loading is vertical and level supports are at same level. In that case, we should not consider this horizontal component. So total number of reactions are 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 minus, again in this 3 remove 1, so we will get 2. So DSE is 2. Okay. Now I have taken a frame. In this frame, now look at here, it is a fixed support, so we have 3 unknowns, horizontal, vertical. Here there is no loading, so we have to consider all the components. Okay, 3, it is a roller only one reaction. It is a double roller. Okay, when we come across a double roller, okay, the we in this will having moment as well as vertical reaction. Here again we have a hinge, so two unknowns. So look at here, 3 plus 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8. Total 8 minus 3. 8 minus 3 is 5. So DSE is 5. This is how we calculate external static indeterminacy. Now moving ahead, let us try to understand about internal static indeterminacy. Okay, we can solve plenty of problems, so I will cover those problem in the next class, no issue on this external static indeterminacy. Okay, now look at here. Now let us try to understand what is internal static indeterminacy. Okay, truss is, as I told, this internal static indeterminacy is purely depend upon the geometry of the structure. Okay, and it is denoted by DSI. DSI is static internal static indeterminacy. Now again, when we talk about the geometry, we will be having truss as well as frame. Again, a truss we have 2D truss and 3D truss. Okay. Now, in a 2D truss, the value of capital R, the equilibrium conditions are 3, and in a 2D truss the equilibrium conditions are 3, and in a 3D truss the equilibrium conditions are 6. Similarly, in a frame we have 2D as well as 3D. Now, truss is called as pin jointed structure. Truss is a pin jointed structure, whereas frame is a rigid jointed structure. Okay, this is the difference. Now, truss is called a pin jointed frame or a structure. Now, we use equilibrium equation at each joint R, summation of fx and summation of x. We use only two equilibrium conditions, that is summation of fx and summation of fy. Let m be the number of members in the truss. If you are solving a problem on a truss, then m be the number of members in a truss. Then each member will be having internal forces. Let's say I have a truss, so each member will be having some internal force. Okay. Now, to calculate the external static indeterminacy, we have used three equilibrium equations. Am I right? So, for calculating that is capital R minus 3, the 3 is a number of equilibrium condition we have used. For a external static indeterminacy, we already used three equation of equilibriums. Alright. Now, therefore, capital M be the number of members present in a truss minus this 2j, because at each joint will be having two equilibrium conditions, minus 2j, right? Minus, because at each joint we have two equilibrium conditions, so it is 2j, minus 3 because we already used this number of equilibrium conditions, so minus 3. Okay, so to calculate internal static indeterminacy, we use the formula m minus in a bracket 2j minus 3. It is for 2D. It is whatever the formula I have written, it is for 2D. Now, if I want to write the internal static indeterminacy formula for 3D member, okay, then it is m remains same minus in a bracket, okay, it will be 3j minus 6. Here these three equilibrium conditions are fx, fy and fz will be 0. So here we have used this summation of fx and summation of fy, these two. Here we will be having summation of fx, summation of fy and summation of fz. So we will be having three equations. So m is equal to 3j minus 6. Okay, because in the first class I have told what are the number of equilibrium conditions we have. Okay, this 6 is nothing but summation of fx, summation of fy, summation of fz, then summation of mx, summation of my and summation of mz. These are the 6 equilibrium conditions or degree of freedoms coming to picture when we talk about 6 number. Now here I have solved some problems. Calculate static indeterminacy. The calculate means you need to calculate ds, and we have a formula for ds. The formula is ds is equal to dse plus dsi. dse mane external static indeterminacy and dsi is internal static indeterminacy. Now first we need to calculate external static indeterminacy, that is DSC. Now look at here, we have in suppose 2 unknowns, here also 2 unknowns, here also we have 2 unknowns. Totally the formula is r minus 3. It is a 2D frame, so r minus 3, where r is 6 minus 3, which is 3. 1 2 3 4 5 6. R is 6, number of reaction at the support 6 minus 3 long condition, so 3. It is DSC. Now DSI is equal to, we have for 2D frame, it is a formula m minus 3. Now which is equal to m, we have to count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So it is m is 7 minus 2 into number of joint 1 2 3 4 5. So into 5 minus 3. It is 2 into 5 is 10, 10 minus 3 is 7, 7 minus 7 is 0. So ds value is 3 plus 0, which is ds is equal to 3. This is the answer. Now coming to this problem, okay, again ds is equal to dse plus dsi. First we calculate dse. dse is equal to r minus 3. Now look at here, we have in support 1 2 3 4. So r is 4 minus 3, which is 1. dse is 1. Now let us calculate dsi. Again it is a 2D frame, so it is formula is m minus 2j minus 3. So m is equal to, we'll count the number of members 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. So 13 minus 2 into joint 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 minus 3. 14 minus 3 is 70 of 14, 14 minus 3 is 11. So 13 minus 11, which is 2. So ds is equal to 1 plus 2, which is 3. This is the answer. Okay, this is how we have to calculate. This is how we have to calculate the value of ds.